Okay, guys, so there's 5 to 6 different programs and things related to Quranic audio that I want to discuss. This is not scripted and like this, it's like jumbled up. So I'll try to make it as clear as possible. Firstly, let's focus on this one program, which is lafzize. What this does is it generates word level timestamps of Quran recitations. I'll come to why that is useful later, but first let's just go with the installation and stuff. Firstly, it needs ffmpeg in your path. This is, by the way, for runtime, not just for development. And it needs ctc forced aligner. This is an Arabic forced alignment model thing, but there's one more caveat here, that you need my version, specifically the split preserve branch. The reason for this is that this model has different types of word splitting, right? It has different types of splitting. It has splitting by word and splitting by sentence and splitting by, I think, paragraph or something. But the way it determines words is by white space. But in the Quranic audio, in the Quranic text, which I'll come to the source for that. Uh, but in the Quranic text, you have sometimes white space, but within the word there's white space. The reason for this is there's tajweed marks. So um, what this PR does is, I mean, it's also useful generally in the model, is it it allows us to specify like you can give it a text file where each word is on a separate line, and it will treat those as the units of alignment, or it will align to those, not just to white space, if that makes sense. I mean, okay, whatever. You got it, I think. So you need my fork with the split preserve branch for now, until this gets merged. Okay. I mean, yeah. Now, after that, you can install it just like any other Go program, and you have to go into directory and run lafzize fetch. Now, what this does is, I have actually done this already because it takes some time, but it generates this directory, which is, the request is empty. It's for temporary data when the request is made, but it just has this text files with each word on a separate line. So yeah, we have that. Yeah, I'll come to the source again. A lot of things are mixed up here and they're interconnected, but that's what makes this interesting. Now you can run this on any port, just like any other server. Yeah. Now, once this is running, we can test this out. Now, I have prepared a session already of Surah Sad Ayah 22. This. So, now if you don't know how to like make HTTP request using curl, don't mind this thing. Like there's documentation and you can do it from a web UI, so don't worry about that. One limitation here. Okay, there's two limitations mainly. Firstly, is that this only aligns to words, not to like phrases. Even though that's possible, that's very doable. Uh, but the other main thing is, it assumes that each audio file is a recitation of one complete ayah and only one ayah. Now you could try to split it by ayah, like you would have to put one ayah on a line, but I think accuracy will suffer, or it may suffer, I'm not sure. But also the thing is that it assumes that we have knowledge of what the text file is contains the session of. Now the Til AI may have some type of model that can take a recitation, and it can give you the most probable ayah of that recitation. Multiple people have requested that in their Discord server, that they should make an API with all of their stuff, even if that API is paid. Because Tiktatil is probably the only people that have this technology right now. So yeah, I mean, hopefully they make some type of API. But okay, till then, we have this. So let's see what this returns. Hmm. Don't mind this. This is just a Unicode stuff. I will clear that in 1 second. Okay, I will show this in Emacs because uh wait, no. Okay, wait. Some stuff with my Wayland thing. Okay, yeah. So, a couple things that this text field is actually redundant. As I said, we know what the verse is being recited, or we know which verse is being recited, and therefore we can find the text automatically. Also, these texts are also redundant because, as I said, that okay, I did not say this, I think, but AI models are not accurate 100%, and also people have mistakes in their recitations. So therefore, we cannot rely on the AI model to actually transcribe this. That's the point of forced alignment, is that the transcription is already present, and like we have to just somehow get only those words, right? Even if the timings are off, like if the timing is off by 1 or 2 seconds, that's fine. But we cannot afford to have a wrong transcription, because that's more serious. So yeah, so that's why these words are redundant. Now you might say, like, okay, then how do I figure out which word is being recited? That's a separate thing, which again I will come to. But we are relying on the Quran.com API's word order, right? Because some people, they might they might be a phrase which some people consider one word, and others are considering them to be separate words. So, but we need standardization for this, because I mean, I'll come to that, but just remember that we are relying on the Quran.com's word uh, splitting, and we need one standard thing for this. Okay. Also, the score is, I mean, you could use it, but just I don't really care. I don't really check this because it's assumed that this is approximate. So yeah, this is the type of response that we get. Okay, now coming again. Now moving on. So you saw what lafzize can do. Um, One more reason that I had to make this a separate program was, there's this another project, but tilawah-hub, but this is not that resource heavy, but lafzize is resource heavy. So like it is, you could, it's like modular. You could host lafzize on a proper VPS or proper compute system thing with their AI GPUs, or I don't know, but yeah. Or you could even have a paid API for just for lafzize, in case Java does not like take off or whatever. You could have just a pure API for that, which is paid and stuff. But okay, now that we have the ability to give uh, an audio file of a recitation and get the word by word timestamp, let's see how we can use this. For that, I'll take you to the Quran.com API. But okay, I think I did not mention this, but every ayah has like a repository of recitations. They are ayah by ayah. They're split ayah by ayah, but not word by word. Some of them have word by word timings, but that's like 8 to 10 or 15. You can see, I mean, there's like repetitions with the quality. So it's like 10 to 15, 20 maximum that have word to word timings. But this has been manually done. I think okay, wait, there's another person. Yeah, I think he has done this thing, but it's like he used some crazy stuff with custom models for each speaker and things. But this repo, I'm unable. This repo is basically dead. Um, yeah, like there's this specific component that he said was unpublishable, but there's I've not seen any response on this yet. But anyways, so what I was the point was that those are for specific reciters. The point of using AI here is we can automatically do this for any recitation. Which, why is that useful? I'll come again. Again, I'll come back to it. But anyways, now there's one improvement that I think can be done in the Quran.com API, which is that wait, which is that, you know, the text is universal for everyone, right? But uh, there should be an ability to self host just the audio bits and the timings for the audio, of course, because uh, so in that case, people don't have to keep requesting for the API people to add their recitation or add this specific reciter. They can just change the like the audio domain, which, okay, I'll explain this properly. Just wait 1 minute. Okay. I think this is it. um no, that is this. Huh? Okay, yeah. So yeah, what I'm saying is, we have you have one Qur'an.com API which has contains the text and the translation and stuff, and you have a separate audio API which just contains the audio files and the timings for them. And the user should be able to swap out the audio server or the audio API at any time, so that uh, firstly that this distributes the workload. Also, people can actually even host their own recitations, right? It does not even have to be a specific reciter. And s- uh, and those will be playable inside the actual program. This is not actually that difficult to pull off, because the infrastructure is already there. Just need to change few things with the API, with how the API works, right? So in the reciter you could have another field here which says source to uh, pull the registrations from. You can change the domain and it pulls the registrations from that domain. Or you could even have like a list of sources and pulls all of them. It's like a Fediverse type of thing. Now, you see this self-hosting registration type of thing. What this ultimately concludes in is tilawah-hub. You have GitHub, right? You have github.com/, you have your username, and you have a repository. What this tilawah-hub is trying to do is, it's a forge for Quran recitations, where you have tilawah-hub .org or whatever, your username, then you have your recitation. So you could have like tilawah-hub, this person, /Tarawih 1446. Okay. Or you have like recitation one, or just random recitations, or you have, okay, this is my fifth recitation for revising or whatever, and you have all of those, and you can just put any of those inside the Quran.com app, or any app for that matter. Because if this is standardized, people would stop having to reinvent the the CDN and the source for the audio and stuff. You just have one place, you have one type of like protocol, so any Quran app can play any of these uh, recitations with word by word timestamps. Because again, tilawah-hub, it integrates a lafzize into it, which I'll okay wait okay, wait, I'll come to that. But so, see what we have. You can upload your recitation. You create an account, you create a recitation, and you upload a recitation for each ayah, right? Now, about automatically splitting your recitation of a surah into separate ayahs, I'm not sure about that yet. This is like an MVP. You upload your recitations,